So again, I went to Colombia 3 times last year.
Okay, Colombia 3 times, Paris twice, Rwanda and Ghana, and Toronto.
Yes, and those all weren't in the same year. That was over 2 years.
Helen Zenobia Willis says the city council is calling for a forensic audit of the mayor's spending. She says the city of South Fulton does not have any business with Africa.
All right, folks, we got another major update in this saga of South Fulton's most controversial mayor, Khalid Kamau, which we all call Mayor Kobe. I guess that's what he wants to call himself, but he has been banned from City Hall.
The council has decided to take the following actions. 1, the council has decided to shut down access to the mayoral budget with the exception of his salary and benefits. 2, the pool table in the mayoral suite will be removed. 3, the city manager is directed to draft a memo to all employees effective immediately to cease and desist all interaction with the mayor. Any employee who violates this directive will be subject to immediate disciplinary action by the city manager. 4, the film studio equipment shall be sent back to the vendor as an unauthorized purchase. If that is not possible, the equipment will be distributed to the Public Affairs Department for use. 5, the 3 Mac devices will be distributed to the IT department. 6, the council has elected to reclassify the film and media manager to a special projects manager, and this person shall report to the clerk. 7, all equipment shall be turned over to the city manager tomorrow, including the drone. 8, by tomorrow morning, the general services director shall secure the suite by changing the locks of the mayoral suite. 9, the mayor has had his access revoked to all city buildings and facilities. 10, the council has elected to remove the electric vehicle and reinstate the travel allowance until such time as a policy is put in place concerning the mayoral vehicle. It is the consensus of the council that the mayor, through the unauthorized use of resources and abuse of his position, refusing to follow policy, and engaging in conduct unbecoming to a member, which constitutes a breach of public trust. The council has decided to take the foregoing actions as violations of the charter and ordinances until such time as all city investigations are complete.
Had his budget frozen, staff cut off, and lost control of the city resources. This is the political equivalent of being locked out of your office, something that some mayors are very familiar with, but it gets better. Or worse, depending on how you look at it. Mayor Kobe is still out there defending his international spending spree, where he hit 4 continents in 4 months, all on a taxpayer's dime. That includes 3 trips to Colombia, 2 to Paris, plus visits to Ghana, Rwanda, and Toronto. Apparently, he's trying to put South Fulton on the map as an international business hub. Yeah, because when I think about global trade centers, the first place that comes to mind is South Fulton, Georgia.
Live's Grace King spoke to the mayor about some of those discrepancies she found in the trips reported.
Many times in Colombia.
So again, I went to Colombia 3 times last year.
Okay, Colombia 3 times, Paris twice, Rwanda and Ghana, and Toronto.
Yes, and those all weren't in the same year. That was over 2 years.
District 3's Helen Zenobia Willis says the city council is calling for a forensic audit of the mayor's spending and more oversight for international travels. She says the city of South Fulton does not have any business with Africa.
So when we saw the expenditures on the financial documents that were posted, that's when we became, as a council, as a body, alarmed and concerned. All of it may be great, and all of them may be good ideas. But the problem is he doesn't get to make those unilateral decisions.
The mayor says his travels are within his spending authority and will continue. The next council meeting is tonight at 7 p.m.
So this justification, Mayor Kobe claims that he was promoting South Fulton as the international hub for black businesses. Because when global investors think of the next big city financial hotspot, they obviously think of a small Georgia town that struggles with basic city services. Does he seriously believe that these businessmen are just waiting for a mayor with a travel addiction to introduce them to the wonders of South Fulton? And I don't want to be hating on South Fulton, but come on, we could all take in the hilarity of this situation. This man is out here playing SimCity Deluxe Edition with taxpayer money and expecting everyone to clap for him. Unfortunately, the only international business happening here is Mayor Kobe personally boosting the airline industry with his multiple flights. Unfortunately, I just don't think South Fulton, Georgia is going to be the next global economic powerhouse, no matter how many times you want to go to Colombia. And we continue with the hilarity that was discussed in this meeting, including Mayor Kobe's dog, Zion. So council member Helen Willis claims employees have allergies and have complained about the dog being in office. Meanwhile, Mayor Kobe is calling it a personal attack.
Yes, it is. And so what I want to do is I want to withdraw my motion. I want to hold this. And I, on the way here, spoke with Department of Justice about the situation, and I'm getting some conflicting information. What I am sure about is that emotional support dogs are not protected. And this is not about being discriminatory. This is about protecting the city. And so while our city manager has said on several occasions she's allergic to dogs, I'm allergic to dogs. And when we have orientation, employee orientations, it's not fair that, people have to be subjected of with dogs licking their feet. Doing and the very employee that happened to is sitting right here in this building right here, and I don't want to call that employee out, but that employee was scared of the dog.
So, I just want to be clear that under the federal law, that allergies and fear of dogs are not valid reasons for denying access or refusing service. I could bring my service animal into this council meeting, every meeting, but I never have, because Councilman Bell isn't a fan of dogs and the city manager is allergic to dogs. But that does not prohibit me or anyone else with a service animal from bringing them in and sitting them right here for the entire meeting. But out of consideration for people, I have not done that. So when people express their discomfort, I will keep my service animal under my control when they are in buildings.
The dog should just stay home. If people have allergies, Mayor Kobe should be respectful of that, not think that what he has with his dog is more important than everyone else that's in this office. Mayor Kobe has way bigger problems to worry about, like how he's going to explain blowing taxpayer money on a world tour while his city falls apart. So if this is the hill he wants to fight on, it just proves how unserious he is about actually leading South Fulton.
Mayor Khalid Kamau has now been banned from City Hall. He no longer has control over his budget or even his own staff. 11 Alive's Angelina Salcido was at the City Council meeting for us tonight. So, Angelina, they went into executive session late last night. We talked about that, but then later stripping the mayor of privileges, and now he's reacting?
And I exchanged texts with the mayor, who calls himself Mayor Kobe. And I will tell you, Ron, that those privileges that he was stripped are very hard for him. This evening, he said that he's heartbroken by the actions that council took early this morning. He says 7 people chose to overrule thousands who voted for him in 2021, a few months before a new election. To clarify, he's been stripped of most of his privileges, but tonight he's still the mayor of South Fulton.
Walkout after walkout. South Fulton Mayor Khalid Kamau under fire yet again after an exchange about policy to ban his dog Zion from city buildings.
We just ask him and he's understanding what we're saying. He may not bring his dog around.
They're getting tired of his nonsense. Again, like I said, all those trips. And he also spends a lot of money on some ridiculous things. $1,800 for a table, I think a pool table, $1,300 on a drone. Maybe he was filming South Fulton's tourism commercials using it, and had flight upgrades that violated city policy. It's ridiculous.
It is possible that you can sparingly look out for the employees here.
Councilwoman Gomes, I already do that. Yeah. Zion is a service animal.
In 2.5 hours of executive session,
Mayor, executive session will be pretty heavy tonight.
council voted to strip the mayor's access to the building, his office, car, budget, film studio, equipment, and this pool table he showed off Monday. The move after 2024 financial records showed the mayor's unauthorized use of resources, abuse of his position, and refusal to follow policy, using his P card for at least 7 international trips, a $1,300 drone, and an $1,800 recreation table from Amazon.
I don't report to city council. I report to the citizens of South Fulton.
Yeah, I'm sure the citizens are totally cool with what you're doing right now and all the things that you're spending the money on. Do you think the residents have no problem with what you're doing right now? This guy is out of touch.
Now, all these actions taken by council because of what they say were violations of the charter and ordinances will stay in place until all city investigations are complete. The next city council meeting is Tuesday, February 25th. We'll be there to follow the latest developments with the mayor.
So after months of this nonsense, the South Fulton City Council finally had enough. So they revoked the access to City Hall and his office, stripped him of control over his budget, cut off connection to city employees, and told staff to ignore his directives. Mayor Kobe is basically mayor in name only. They didn't just take away his money, they took away his entire job. Imagine you show up for work and everyone just ignores you because your access has been revoked. This man has less authority than an unpaid intern. And let's not forget his response. He said he was heartbroken that 7 people overruled thousands of voters. Sir, you did this to yourself. You don't get to misuse funds, run around playing world traveler, and then act shocked when the people paying your salary hit you with the reverse Uno card. This man really thought that he can take taxpayers' money and fly around the world and no one would notice. My guy, you weren't out there brokering international deals. You were taking government-funded trips like a high schooler trying to pad his geography class portfolio. And now that there are adults in the room and caught on, you want to pout and be upset like a child. This is what happens when mayors go rogue, and Mayor Kobe isn't the only one. We could talk about Tiffany Hayden in Dalton. We even could talk about Brandon King in East Cleveland. 2 other mayors who thought public office come with an unlimited expenses account and a do whatever I want pass. Going back to Tiffany Hayden, again, this lady has took abuse of power to a whole new level. Obviously, she has been accused of running Dalton like her own personal kingdom, dishing out 6-figure salaries to her friends, boyfriend, for example, hiring sex offenders, silencing critics, and allegedly misusing taxpayer funds. Sounds very familiar. Like Mayor Kobe, she loves to play the victim when people call her out, acting like every bit of criticism is some sort of attack against Black leadership. But newsflash here, stealing from your own community isn't leadership. Brandon King, under his watch, corruption has been so blatant that the state and federal investigators are constantly circling him. He's been accused of selling off city property for dirt cheap to his friends and family and running in town like it's his personal hustle. When called out, he pulls the classic move, dodging accountability and blaming political enemies. Actually, all these mayors blame political enemies. These mayors act like they're too important to be questioned. And that's why a lot of them are falling apart as we speak. But as you see right here, Mayor Kobe is running out of options. The council has cut off his power, his money, and his staff. Investigations are still ongoing, and the forensic audit could reveal even more spending scandals. Remember, this dude already got arrested for trespassing last year. And if he keeps this up, he might be facing actual criminal charges next. So at this point, his only move left is to either resign or to go full crazy mode. I don't know. And given how he handles things so far, I think he's going to continue to do the most ridiculous things. So for one thing's for sure, South Fulton is watching this closely. And if Mayor Kobe thought he can ride this one out, he might want to start looking at one-way tickets to Paris. Maybe on his own dime this time. Let me know what you guys think about this story. Put it in the comments below. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video.